For this project, we're going to be making grapes growing from a grapevine. Have you ever seen grapes growing from a grapevine? Well, let's take a look at a picture I found for you. Here we go. Here are some really delicious looking grapes. And here's the grapevine. See, it's like a curvy, bendy stem. It's a branch that's a little bit thicker because it's holding such heavy grapes. And then the grapes hold onto the branch from a little stem over here and over here. And then the grapes also have these curly parts of them called tendrils, which help to hold them on because they're so heavy. And then there are lots of grape leaves. You see the basic shape of a bunch of grapes? Let's see, I put this over and I traced some of the grapes. So let's see what shape we have. Okay, would you say that the grapes are more like round, rectangle, square, or an upside down triangle? To me, they look more like an upside down triangle, of course, without the points. They're kind of rounded. So the triangle shape has a lot more grapes at the top, and then as they grow and fill in, there are less and less and less and less grapes. So we're going to create our grapevine with delicious looking hanging grapes. What you'll need is a piece of paper, probably like the printer paper. You'll need to have a brown crayon. And then you'll need to have your watercolors. You need your watercolors with a brush. And you need water. I didn't get any clean water. I was on another project. But this will do. We need water and a little paper towel or a sponge to wipe our brush off. Those are the supplies that you'll need for this. And of course, since we're using crayons, as I always tell you, you need some kind of soft padded surface underneath, like a pad of paper, or in this case, I like to use a magazine. So let's begin. All right. With the crayon, actually, I'm thinking that you should start with a pencil first. In case you make a mistake, you can erase it. Near the top part of the paper, not all the way down here because you want room to hang the grapes. So kind of up near the top, you're going to make a slightly curvy line. Not a zigzag, none of that. And not a hilly 1, 2, 3, 4. Just like we call this a gentle curve that goes from one side of the paper to the other. So I'll take my pencil and I'll just make a gentle curve there. Now vines often have more than one vine coming off of the same one. So let's go to the middle and draw gently another vine coming off. There we go. So we started, you could start here if you like. I'm a lefty, so I start different ways, but a gentle curve going all across your paper from this end to that end, and then go to the middle and draw another vine coming off. You still have lots of room down here for your hanging grapes. Now you take your brown crayon and you go over your line. Remember, when we're using crayons, we press a little harder so we get a nice, thick, nice line. After you've done it once, see how I turn my paper around? It's easier sometimes if I can turn it around. Now, a skinny line like this is not thick enough to hold so many delicious looking grapes. So what we have to do is go back over and make it thicker. You see how I'm just going over it again and making it wider all the way through until you're completely finished. Nice thick vine. We have a lot of room down here. All right, now we want to have our grapes in bunches. That's what it's called, you know, it's like a family of grapes. They call them a bunch. But remember, they come off a little stem. So every place you're going to want to put a bunch of grapes, put a little stem. I think I'm going to have one bunch here, so I'll put a stem here. And I think I'll have another bunch here, so I'll put a stem here. And one here. And I think I'll have another bunch over here. Since they're going to be big bunches, we can't fit too many. And another one over here. This way my bunches of grapes will hang down from here, 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 and maybe a little smaller one here. All right, with me? Good. Now for the next part, it's going to be a little bit unusual. Since grapes are, what shape are they? They're round. We're going to use a part of our body on our hand which can make nice purple round grapes. By the way, grapes are not only purple. Some grapes are green. I've even seen yellowish green grapes. I've seen red and red purple, but we're going to make purple ones today because if you remember, I showed you that picture. Here we go. These are sort of bluish purple grapes. You notice how they're all crowded together and they overlap each other? We're going to do that with our painting here. So you take your finger. I use my pointer finger. If you want to use your pinky, you can, but I think the grapes are too small for a pinky, and your pinkies are smaller than me, so this is probably good. You dip your finger in the water and gently, don't squish or mush, rub it onto the purple paint and start where the stem is to put some grapes. And it's okay if all the grapes are not exactly the same dark value. Some grapes get lighter and some. We'll start with a bunch across like the end of our triangle, and now you start coming down. Add more water on your finger to the paint as you go. Overlap. Don't leave too much space between your grapes. Remember, they touch each other as they're growing, but you want to have that look like it was a kind of triangle shape. There we go. There's my first bunch. Pretty cool, huh? Then dip your finger, pick up some more paint, and do your next bunch of grapes. They don't all have to be the same size. Some bunches of grapes can be much bigger than others. They might have been growing a lot quicker. Here we go. Fill it in. They don't have to be even either. Remember, that's the way nature does it. Some things grow bigger than others. There, I think that's enough for my second bunch. My next bunch, I don't have a lot of room here, so I guess I have to make it a little bit smaller. My stems are very close, so this will be a little bit smaller, but it should be bigger on the top, and then slowly working its way down. Remember the triangle shape? And then I've got lots of room here, so I can have a nice big bunch of grapes. There we go. There we go. Big bunch of grapes. Whoops. I got a little bit on my mat here. I should have put a messy mat underneath, you know? I didn't think of that. Let's get a nice, I can go right to the edge of my paper. Nice big. Remember though, that triangle shape, we want them to start coming down. There we go. Now I have a little bunch here. So I don't want to forget that stem. There we go. Just a couple of little grapes here. Right down. There we go. There we go. Oops, looks like one of my grapes escaped. That was a mistake, but that's okay. We're going to be making leaves. Now I'm going to rinse my finger off in the water, and I'm just going to kind of wipe it off a little bit. All right, now you need the paintbrush and your paint. We're going to put some leaves. We're going to put some leaves, yes. Now the grape leaves look almost like a hand. They're very wide. Can you see them here, boys and girls? You see they're wide. If we think of a hand, that's a pretty good shape. And we don't have to draw first. We'll get right in with the green paint. Gently, water, gently. And we're going to do some big leaves. Big old leaves here. And you don't have to worry if they're perfect or not. They're going to be wonderful. Have some here. Some have some here. Good. I'm going to cover that one where my mistake is. There we go. See? We can fix mistakes in art. There we go. Some here. And maybe even some down here. Poking right over there. And maybe another one over here. This one we're only going to see part of it because it's coming right off the paper. There we go. There are my grape leaves. Easy, huh? Now the last thing we need are those little curly tendrils. They're like little skinny vines that wrap around and help hold up those heavy grapes. And for that we need some brown. So get some water on your palette. Remember, don't squish or mush your brush down. Be very gentle with your brush. And we're going to make curls. They start here and they just curl down. Curly, 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 curly. And you can make them across here, curly, curly, and across here, curly, curly, curly. Use the tip of your brush and make curly tendrils. There we go. There you are. There is your beautiful grapevine. This one I did before is already dry. You did a great job, boys and girls. I'm absolutely sure. Please don't forget to take a picture of your grapevine and send it to my email, which you already have on the letter that was sent. And don't forget, when you email me with your picture, put your name in your email so I know who did this. Okay, boys and girls, until we meet again for our next project. Bye.